Good evening, everybody. Happy full moon in Taurus. For realsies this time. As in the faux pas that happened last full moon. It was actually an Aries full moon, but it did cross into Taurus at one point. So I wasn't completely wrong, but for real, we are happening in Taurus. So that's why I didn't change the description or anything in the YouTube channel. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Yeah, new moon wise, I felt pretty okay, but full moon wise, well, especially the fact that this is eclipse time happening right now, I am feeling it a little bit. So, I know for some people it's pretty stabilizing, and I hope that it is for you. For me, it was a little bit, okay. So, the peak, at least for East Coasters, does not kick in until around between midnight and 2 a.m. So, that's about when the eclipse will kick in, around midnight. And hopefully, the rain and the cloud covers should be breaking up over the U.S., over my region of the woods by now. Fingers crossed. But if not, at least there's a live stream that's going on, so I'm going to have that in the background in the meantime, because it's supposed to be a very beautiful beaver blood moon tonight. So, the biggest thing, since this month is Indigenous Heritage Month, this is one big thing that I always try to acknowledge in my videos. I acknowledge it in my Oregon Trail videos, but I especially want to acknowledge it now. I'm currently filming this video in the lands of the Lenape and Nanticoke nations. My workplace has recently done a declaration supporting this acknowledgement and this claim. So here it is. So if you want to find out more and which lands that you occupy personally, please check out this website, native-land.ca. It is constantly updating. They've recently started looking through African ethnic groups. We don't call ourselves indigenous, per se. But we do have ethnic groups similar to First Nations groups here in the Americas. So if you check out native-land.ca, you can look up the lands you are currently occupying, at least in the U.S., some of Asia, and some of Europe. But it's mainly been a United States and Canadian effort. Though I think there is some of South America too. South and Central America. Let me see. Yeah, there are some essential South and Central America done as well. And, we got a lot of Australia as well. So definitely check out these maps. There's some really interesting stuff. You can also check out languages and treaties covered in these maps. Just go and take a look and look at it at your own time, because it is really interesting stuff. So go check out native-land.ca. It's one website I always promote, and it's just good and necessary stuff. This is history that we need to learn. I just learned recently that I have been fortunate enough. I've been fortunate enough to learn a lot about indigenous history, but there's a lot of things that I had to learn from my own research or from family and friends' accounts. So that's all the more reason why this needs to be taught more. If anything, so we could be better family members to each other. And that's the one wake-up call that I can't believe I forgot my own motivation for a split sec for a good while. Because this beautiful quote from Joy Harjo, the first and to date the only Indigenous poet laureate. She's also the current poet laureate from the Muskoka Nation. She has this beautiful quote where she says that I go in between worlds every day. And this is especially true for me because I was born and raised in the U.S., but I've also had a very multicultural upbringing. I have African parents. I've recently discovered that I have, well, not discovered per se. Some of it I did know beforehand, but I also have German ancestry. And we discovered I also have some in Portugal, in Britain, and even in Scandinavia, and some in Asia and North Africa. So I'm all over the place, essentially. And I also grew up with various values in various cultures, and now I'm exploring various spiritualities as well, both in terms of my personal exploration and in terms of my education. So even though I do have people that I support and get behind, etc., a lot of times I never really fully fit in anywhere. I can adapt to any situation, but I never felt like as if I fully fit in no matter what I tried. So a lot more times I felt like an outsider, a foreigner, a guest, a visitor passing by a lot of my life. Which I know seems strange, especially being in the US. I live in a house. I have my family. And yet, that's what I felt for most of my life, especially with my 20s and 30s. I know it can be part of growing up, but it was a constant even in my childhood. Like, I felt like I was not really here. I remember one comment where they said like I seemed like I was somewhere else. Some ways maybe I was. But and in some ways it kind of made me feel like question, is there something with me? Is something with the world around me, or just mainly just me and how I perceive it? Long answer, short answer, I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that people are human beings, and we have to treat them autonomously as such. In fact, a Sim Poet laureate, Joy Harjo, her verses are just beautiful. They really hit you right here. She recently released an autobiographical set of poems called Poet Warrior, and as well as a set of regular poems, like a set of poems, like a book of poems called An American Sunrise, and an album called I Pray for My Enemies earlier this year. That line in particular really stood out to me. Because, you know the saying that we often think about where we go through something really, really frustrating or really, really harrowing, and we often say, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, even on my worst enemy. Another way we can look at it is we pray for our enemies, our so-called enemies, to see the light. The harm they have done. Because oftentimes they don't see what harm they have done until it really hits them in the face. And we could pray that it doesn't have to come to that. I know I got really serious in the first, 10 minutes of the stream, but... but that's kind of where I've been. This full moon period, but just feeling just really in between spaces. Then again, I think there's also a Mercury retrograde happening right now as well, so that's not it hasn't exactly, gotten me out of that, but thankfully today, Taurus, we're in the sign of Taurus for this full moon, so it's all about coming down to earth a little bit, and it's eclipse season. So this is also a good chance to basically clear up some things. Open your eyes to see what's next. What's coming up. And for any intentions that you want to bring to your life. So I'm gonna play some music. This is from Calm Whale. Shout out to Calm Whale for doing this. I mean, I would play the song this morning. I pray for my enemies, but number one, it's not morning, and number two, I did not get permission to play that song on the stream, so not going to be able to this time. Sorry, but it's a really, really good song and poem, so please go check it out. But yeah, shout out to Calm Whale for doing this beautiful hand pan music. They do it every new moon and full moon, like clockwork. Every time they manage to do this, whether it's videos in the background, all that jazz, they always manage to do it. So right now, because it's raining up in here, I was gonna try and go for a outdoor full moon session today, but because it rained, the kept those plans out the window. Plus, again, the technical difficulties that happened the last time. Kind of want to avoid that, so I'm doing this instead. And believe me, it's more comfortable, and also it's pretty good for what we're going to be doing today, which is way more low key compared to previous rituals where it was a lot more shifting, a lot more moving. Considering that we are slowing down, we are getting into winter, we're getting into Yuletide. This is the time to kind of tone down, settle, get a little gentle with ourselves now, and nourish ourselves within. Definitely nourish ourselves. We're here, right here, right here. Especially with all of the occasions coming up. I personally do not really go for Thanksgiving anymore because, well, the history behind it. It's too sad. It's really too sad. I like the idea of taking a week for gratitude. Like, that's something I'm definitely still going to adopt, but in terms of actually celebrating it as a holiday, I can't do it anymore. I really can't. My family pretty much felt the exact same way, so we don't acknowledge Thanksgiving anymore. I mean, if you do yourselves, nothing wrong with that. But also make sure you acknowledge the history and, more importantly, the original peoples that are on this place, because they are still here. They are still here and alive and well. So, please acknowledge them too. So, today, we're not going to be doing anything elaborate. Not really any calling of the quarters or anything like that. We're just going to keep it simple with our intentions. Because right now is all about rest and clarity. So, don't worry. I'm going to get a circle going. Like so. And a little bit of a safe space to amplify our intentions here tonight. So, and my thingy is not spraying. You do not want to spray tonight, do you? Okay. And It worked before. Okay, let me try. You know, it's retrograde season. When? Ugh. Okay. Let me just swap out these. Just temporarily. Alright. Just want to get this thing going. Okay. Yes! There we go. Definitely need to clean up the nozzles. Alright. Special thanks to Full Moon Radio for these sprays. They're really, really nice. They smell amazing. So this one has amethyst and black amethyst quartz and black tourmaline to help you release all that no longer serves you, as well as your highest and greatest good. And this one, the New Moon one, has citrine and quartz here. And then, I know sometimes eclipses can get a little bit overwhelming as well, a little bit charged. So I'm also going to spray some of this Empath Shield, courtesy of Sage Goddess. Feel a little comforted. And this Micmac seller also gave me this beautiful sweetgrass. That's where I got this ring too. This one up here. So, a little bit of gratitude here. So, a little bit of sweetgrass. I'm using very special occasions. But we have some balance, some wonderful balance here. A little bit of a personal equilibrium, especially if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed this week. That goes Palo Santo, which I think they recently discovered has antibacterial and antiviral properties. So I know some places have started introducing it into like aromatherapy or even their hand sanitizers. There we go. I'm using every last bit here. So, gratitude for all these wonderful medicines that Mother Nature has given us, God has given us. Whatever you subscribe to, this is for you. Alright? Okay. Let's take a little bit of a deep breath here. And we're just going to do like a quick body scan here. So, I'm going to guide you through it. Get you in the present moment. So, oh yes, supplies. So, today we're doing something a little more low-key. We're going to be doing a tea ceremony. So, I want you to grab a cup of hot water. Or whatever your favorite beverage is. But something warm. Definitely something warm tonight. Pick a beverage. Just something that would help you sleep. Because there's also a beautiful time for dream work. So, I mean, not sponsored by this company, but they have amazing tea. Really delicious tea. And some optional accoutrements, like tea and sugar, like cream and sugar. or in my case, some Amish harvested honey, which I have blessed under several ceremonies. This one will be no exception. It's very sacred honey. So, and also candles, of course. Maybe your journal. And some incense, though I recommend lighting it after this is over, so we don't have too many sense distractions, you know? So, if you want to take some time to get those supplies, feel free to pause this video and come back. But if you've already got all that stuff prepared, let's begin with a little simple body scan here. So, let's go ahead and settle into this present moment, to the here and now. Feel free to scan the room that you're in at this point. Do you have any decorations that look nice? Light the candle, the cups you have near you. Take a sip of water if you're so inclined. And then notice the comfort you are in the place you're sitting, or if you want to lie down, that's fine too. Just whatever makes you feel more comfortable. How do you feel? And then you can start to go inward. You can keep your eyes open, or in my case, I'm going to shut my eyes. Get a little bit more concentration here. Feel free to just a little, just a little bit, to a place where you have enough room where you're not feeling too constricted. Just checking in right here. How are you feeling? Is it a sunny day? A little stormy? A little cloudy? Whatever's going on right now, know that it is completely all right. Be right here, right now, without judgment or self-critique or anything like that. Just be really, really gentle with yourself. You're going to come into a state of rest. So this should help you ease into that transition. So I know most people tend to start from the bottom, but today we're going to start from the top of your head. Work your way down. And you experience any tension or discomfort, as long as it's not really bothering you too much, just acknowledge it for a split second and just move down. Forehead. Breathe into the spaces that need just a little bit more ease, a little more compassion today. And relax your eyes and your eyelids. It's amazing how much tension we store up there, especially if we're closing them more intently. There's a way to give some ease a little bit as if you rotate your eyes a little. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Especially Doing over 2 years of this, wearing masks sometimes can make us clench up a little. So give yourself some time to just relax your face. And the neck and your shoulders. Need to roll it out a little, that's fine too. Just as long as you can bring just a sense of ease to those tight places. And then move down your arms, forearms, elbows, wrists, palms, fingers. Just let that all go. And then right up to the shoulders, you move down your chest. Move to your core, your stomach, upper and lower back. Your hips, your sit bones. Resting against whatever surface you're on. Be it a chair or on the floor or your cushion. Whatever surface it's being on right now, or even if you're just standing, being supported by your legs. Whatever way you want to feel ease and power in yourself. And your thighs. Your calves. Your knees. You've endured a long journey, be it hiking or in a wheelchair, or whatever implement you've been using. If you don't have them at all, that's fine too. Just thank your body for just doing everything that it can to survive, to be here, to be present. And of course, we're not going to forget the ankles and your feet, tops and the soles of your feet, toes, beating with the earth and the air. Just thanking this internal temple of ours, just helping us be here. We just sigh out that tension to release all the things that we have constructed to help us get through. We no longer need and no longer serve our highest or greatest good. We thank all these efforts, all these protections, all these things that we have. They've done their job, and it's okay to move on. Take a deep breath in. Hold for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And feel free to sigh it out. Do another time. Breathe it in. Hold for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Sigh it out. One more time right here. Let's breathe it in. Feel it in your chest, your stomach. Really big one. Hold it in. 3, 2, 1. Feel free to make it audible if you want to. A little more constrained space, that's fine too. Just let yourself feel loose. And you feel solidly in your body. Feel free to gently come back to the space in the room that you're in. Welcome back, everybody. So, this is a beautiful time to ask your higher self some questions. This time I'm not prompting. This time, allow yourself to be creative. Allow yourself to come up with these questions. In the meantime, if you haven't had a chance to come up with your questions or come up with your or get your tea or get your tea water, because we are going to have some tea. Feel free to pick some up now. I actually need to warm up my water. Got a little tepid on the way. So I'll be right back. But if you want to sit some more, relax some more, feel free to gaze at my candle. What's left of it. For a little while. You will have plenty of company when I come back. So stay a while, or even chat. But relax the music. I'm going to go reheat this water, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned, everybody. Enjoy the music too. Thanks again to Calm Whale for doing this music. So, here you go. All right. Thank you for your patience. So, another reason why I decided not to go with a four-corner summoning, which, contrary to popular belief, you don't need it every time for every ceremony, but you do need a container. Bare minimum, you always make sure you have a container when it comes to doing sacred work like this. You always have a container because you always want to have a channel between you and the divine and where you want it to go. In some traditions, it's a sign. In some traditions, it's a movement, a verse, a prayer. In this case tonight, we're going to do a little bit of a tea ceremony. It's a little nod to the Romani and Japanese traditions I've observed over the years. But tea has become very much a universal drink. So I got inspired and decided to kind of go with that as kind of a more mindful meditation here. Now, this could be for any tea or beverage, really. Today I just decided to go with tea. And again, if you're doing this at night especially, just pick something that would help you sleep. Because dream work is an especially beautiful thing to do during this time. So this is a time especially to be mindful. Okay. So I'm going to turn myself down just a little so that we can see my tools here. Someday I may get a second camera for this, but for right now, you're just going to see my hands here. And a little T'Challa. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But yeah, so we got a cup of tea here. Use this chopstick for my mixing. And then tonight I'm going to be doing this bedtime tea for a good night's sleep. Got this beautiful honey, which I've blessed over several full moons here. And let's see. It has passion flower, chamomile, licorice, cardamom, and cinnamon. And you steep this for 7 minutes. This is kind. Depends on the kind of tea. Now, tea water doesn't necessarily have to be super hot. If anything, it's much cooler than coffee. So that's why you may find that coffee places may not do tea perfectly, because coffee requires a much higher temperature. That's okay, because oftentimes tea is pretty easy to prepare for yourself. So, just take a marvel at that tea, or at least the tea that it's going to be. In a way, you could see this water as yourself, or your potential. And you adding your tea and your condiments, your complements, kind of adds to it. So just take a moment to just observe everything. The cup that you decide to put it in. Tea you selected. Steam coming off of it. Just look at everything. It's Beautiful, isn't it? Observe every angle. Take your time. And tea is a beautiful blend of the 4 elements. Obviously got water going on here. You have fire to bring this water temperature, be it through a kettle or an actual fire. You've got earth growing this tea. And then you've got the air, the fragrances, the smells, the steam wafting out. So, keep in mind this tea. Just think about, if you can feel free to dip it if you want, or just keep it in the air. Feel free to think about the things that you're grateful for, things you want to let go of, things that you overall just want to release. Just unwind. And then when you feel like you've kind of run out of things to think about, or you find the movement as meditative as you want, throw the handle. And you open up your tea. Feel free to sniff it before you put it in the water, because how it puts in the water is very different from what it is when it's dry and loose like this. Smells interestingly minty, even though there's no mint in this. And insert it. Because this water is now going to transform into tea. Observe how it changes. Beautiful, isn't it? The other thing I like about this tea is that it gives a little bit of wisdom here. Celebrate your successes and failures. Both required great courage. And I really do. And now, you can take this time as you're making sure your tea is thoroughly brewed. What are the things you want to invoke in your life? The things you want to bring in, welcome. What are the things that you want to know? Be it from your dreams, ideas, problems you want to solve, where you want to get inspiration. If you're not sure what it is that you want to discover or talk about today, that is completely fine. You just send yourself some well wishes. Send your family, your friends, your community, your area, your country, continent, or this entire planet. Whatever good intentions you want to bring. They are beyond borders and the things that may seem to divide us. We also acknowledge our uniqueness, what makes us different and distinct. But we also acknowledge what makes us similar, what brings us closer together. Alright, look at that water now. Beautiful, isn't it? That smells so good. I'm excited to get into this. Now, do you want to add some sweetener? If you do, feel free. If you want to just drink it straight up like this, that's fine too. I'm personally going to add a little bit of honey. Prayed over this honey over several full moons, for several ceremonies. And this blessing of sweetness. May we have joy in our endeavors in this life. May it be affirmed by the sweetness of this honey, or whatever sweetness you decide to add in here. Monk fruit, xylitol, stevia even. Pretty good stuff. Just plain old sugar. And bees are often related to Oshun. Oshun's their favorite food is honey. So sometimes in some traditions, you just have a little bit in honor of her, just to show that it's safe. That is delicious. Bringing that sweetness to all those intentions that we just put into this cup. Bringing it fully. This spoon or stick or whatever you're stirring in is your magic wand. All those wishes come true. Put it together, and what have you got? Bippity boppity boo. Of course, you don't need to put it that way, but it was too perfect. I had to do it. Once you got that, and you feel ready, drink your tea. And if you want to go a little bit extra, make it more ceremonial, If you have the good cup for that, that is. It's not ideal, but do that. Just rotate it. That's really nice and warm. I'm glad I got this tea. It's really delicious. The nice thing about full moon, so you don't necessarily have to like do anything. So you can just be here and now. It's not work, though. Sometimes it could feel like work because we often don't get the chance to just sit back and just do nothing. To just be. And drinking a cup of tea could be a good chance to just do nothing. And you go ahead and do it. It may seem like nothing, but it is doing something. It's being human. Being in this present. Look at that Emily Dickinson poem. Forever is a series of nows. Very true. Especially if you have a complex tea like this. Note when the flavors change. If I had my friends watch this, they would totally see why I'm called the Uncle Iroh of my group. You know, last year I actually got a message from Greg Baldwin, the second voice actor for Iroh, for my birthday. Focus in the dark, that's all you'll see. You look to the light. Sometimes it feels like we're constantly going, especially now that things are starting to open up again. It's okay to just slow down. Just be here now. It doesn't even have to take this long. It feels long because I'm leading you through something. But it doesn't have to be. It can take as long as the tea brews. Mm. Yeah, funny sound earlier. Alright. Now, lately I've been feeling the mood for angels, for angel guidance. So, I'm gonna pull something personally. So, on this full moon, what advice and guidance can you show for me today? I'm not going to go too personal here. I already make it personal enough with talking about playthroughs and just earlier. Plus, you can take the school away from the student, but you can't take the student away from the school. I'm thinking about school all the time. I get to 11:11 pretty soon, so it's always 11:11 somewhere. Gotta borrow some of mine. Go right ahead. Make a wish. Not done my tea yet. I felt like shuffling before it really kicked in. For some reason, I felt like pulling two. Oh! 11:11! Should have found a notification that I got earlier. I'm not perfect, nor do I seek to be. I am real, I am empowered, I am me. I am devoted to loving myself just as I am right now. I am successful, I am peaceful, I am enlightened, I am fearless. I am my higher self is me. I listen with my soul, I follow my dreams. And feel free to come with other manifestations. How beautiful is that? Got the two cards, spread at 11:11. So we've got, for me at least, could apply to you too, eternal love. And write about your thoughts and feelings. Very accurate here. Very beautiful here. You know, even after all these times of work, all these kinds of meditations and stuff, there are still times where the inner critic gets really, really loud. Sometimes it may be good to ask, who is it? Because it's not me. Other times, just like, you have to be like, hey, I know you're trying to protect me. I'm grateful for that. Now please take a break for a little bit. 'Cause I have some stuff I need to do. And we keep forgetting that love is everywhere. But especially love is within. Love is within. And write about your thoughts and feelings. This is probably the third or fourth time I've gotten this card. Just talk about writing, being in a language, etc. Heavily talked about. So, here are the prayers if you want to try them yourself. Help me perceive all the love that surrounds me so I can feel safe receiving, expressing, and giving love. That one hit me. And thank you for helping me tap into my God-given creativity and wisdom so I clearly express myself and glean insight, blessing, and healing. So that's the stuff that I need to know today. Know that I am love, I am loved, and I have creativity within me. But I just need to trust. I have a hard hitter here. So, I'm gonna pull one for y'all. My community here, my people. So, on this full moon, eclipse, what is it that my community, the people out here, if you watch this now, or whenever you come across this, what is it that people need to know? What do you need to know today? And for all of time. Yeah? Ooh. That was loud and clear. We've got three cards for you, my community. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Self-respect. I love how it's a monk and there's an Om on the top. But I think it's water element. Here. The bottom's upside down. So the fire's right side up. And lean on God and the angels for support. That's really nice. So, here's the advice to my community. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. You draw this card because there's an important feeling that you've been trying to ignore. It tries you might to push it aside. This feeling urges you to be honest with yourself. Archangel Michael says the facing the truth will be healing, and it will give you the direction and guidance you seek. And the prayer is, I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance, so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. We've got self-respect. Archangel Michael is supporting your quest for happiness, health, and abundance by advising you to respect and love yourself. The situation you're inquiring about has some dysfunctional aspects which can adversely affect your self-esteem. This card is a sign that it's time to honor yourself, even if others aren't treating you in a worthy manner. You deserve respect from yourself and others, for you're a beloved child of God, just as everyone is in spiritual truth. And the prayer for this one is, Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see myself as you see me, through the eyes of love. Thank you for honoring and respecting me. Please guide me to do the same for myself, and grant me the courage to speak up on my own behalf. I ask for your protection in all of my relationships, so that I am surrounded by loving and kind people. And the last one, lean on God and the angels for your support. You are a strong and independent person, yet at times when everyone needs support, and for you, that time is now. This card guides you to give the situation completely to God and the angels. When you try to single-handedly resolve it, you'll burden yourself with unnecessary worry, which also blocks you from experiencing the solution at hand. When you allow others to help and support you, you empower yourself. Dear God and angels, I give you this situation, this matter, feel free to describe it, now and completely. I step out of the way and allow divine miracles to shine through everyone and everything involved. Yeah, I think this applies to me too. Like, all of this right here. And especially during an eclipse, this is a beautiful time to explore. What is your truth? Not the truth that everybody else says, but what is your truth? My truth may feel different from your truth. And that is completely alright, because we are diverse human beings. We all have feelings. We all have thoughts. We all have beliefs. Not limited to religion. We are living here in this beautiful planet we call Earth. So, let's take care of it. And enjoy each other's company while we can. I like the last bit from the tea bag itself because it's very concentrated. It's just delicious. And thank you. That the tea ceremony is over. And with that, this circle is pretty much coming to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, in honor of tonight, in honor of this beautiful conjunction in space, apparently tonight's the longest eclipse in 500 years. May we all find our truth. May we all remember that we are love, and we are loved. May all beings be happy. May we all live in peace and harmony. May no longer suffer unnecessarily. Most of all, may we live wholeheartedly in this time and the next. So be it, and so it is. I don't know why I just felt like doing this. I know why. Y'all know why. Those who are in the know. So, the spirits of the four elements, we thank you for blessing this simple occasion, this simple ceremony. That whatever we seek, may we find. Because not all those who wander are lost. May we find the answers we seek. And may we also adjust ourselves accordingly. That regardless of what our reaction is to this knowledge, know that we are resilient. We are more powerful and stronger than we think. We have more knowledge greater than what we think we know. And we love much deeper than we think we can love. May we do all our goals, fulfill them, as well as a much greater place. This or something greater. We thank you for tonight. This beautiful night where we can all gather together and just create this one little harmonious space. I thank you and release you from your duties to this space. And with that, our circle has ended, but unbroken still. I had a wonderful cup of tea. I am so ready to sleep well tonight. I might catch a glimpse of the moon if the cloud cover breaks up. But otherwise, I feel all set to go to bed. In honor of tonight, I also bought myself a Reiki charged candle. I've been thinking about what intention to bring up tonight. I thought initially it was going to be abundance, then I thought it was going to be guidance, I thought it was going to be protection, something like that. But then I saw harmony, but especially the prayer. The prayer on here, which says, harmony now radiates through my mind, body, and emotions. The magical flow now consumes my entire being. I am calm, relaxed, and at peace. And I think right here may be that answer to that asynchronous feeling that I've been having for the longest time. Because sometimes it feels like my mind's here, my soul's here, my body's somewhere else. There have been times even that I feel like I could escape from my body. I just wanted to leave it. Didn't want to be here. But there are times where they do come into alignment. And so they come into alignment. And the times where they do function together, oh, it's glorious. As I light this candle, may I have more moments like those. May you have moments like those too. Once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you to Calm Whale for this music. No doubt it's probably going to get blocked after tonight, but rest assured, if you are... if you want to listen to it in the background, link is in the link will be, I will add it to the description after the stream's over. It's also linked up here too, in case you want to type it in and just watch it for yourself. Yeah, overall, just really, really good stuff. So, in terms of other things happening this week. Tomorrow, I may actually play Dundar Trials of Fear Edition. I've been wanting to play the game again for quite some time. This will be part 3 of my play of the game. So I look forward to that. Then Saturday, I will be out of town. But my plan is to bring my laptop with me, so that way I can stream Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore for part 2 of the best routes of the game. The next one's going to be Karma's route. So I've already got like halfway in terms of Rod, so I'm not sure how we're going to do with Karma. I think I'm going to do worse, but let's see how we actually did. We'll see that. Parasite Eve 2. I think at this point Wednesdays are going to be Wildcard Wednesdays because I may do something different each week. Who knows? Because I also have the Oregon Trail and the Stanley Parable that I still need to finish too. So there's that. And Monday we're going to be doing more Barony. Turns to whether or not it's with Night Miner, we shall see. But we're going to be playing it with Brazitantalus. So, in other things, feel free to check out my Fiverr shop, waxgibbouswitch, where I do nerdy card readings. It is by commission only, so please DM me before you make an order, so that way I at least have enough time to prepare for your question, or just to ensure that the question is one that I can answer. Because there's some things that I absolutely can't, either because I'm just not able to get the answer for you, or it is against my code. So please be sure to message me before you make an order. And finally, Help Pretty Smart, as well as several other shows and movies. They have second season or continuation. Jump under help.netflix.com / whatever language you have / title request and follow the instructions on the form or tweet them. My hashtag is Pretty Smart Season 2. So here's my social media in case you are curious. I recently updated my TikTok, so feel free to check me out on there. I also have Twitch. I also simulcast these ceremonies on DJ MK Off the Air, though pretty soon they were going to have a new home on Theological Otaku, so keep an eye out for that. My Twitter is @DJMK for life, so in case you want to be notified about future streams, check out there. And I have a blog, mahokunoichi.blogspot.com, as well as, of course, my Fiverr page. That may turn to something else down the line, but anyway, thank you so much. Once again, feel free to check out native-land.ca for finding out whose land are you occupying right now in this very moment. Once again, I acknowledge that I am filming this video on the lands of the Nanticoke and Lenape nations. I thank the peoples for allowing me to be here, because I know ultimately I am a guest. I may be born here, but ultimately I am a guest. So the fact that I'm still here, it is a blessing. So thank you. And also thank you, my subscribers, my longtime viewers, my new viewers, for coming to these videos. This was a huge leap of faith that I took earlier this year to do my own ceremonies like these. So knowing how many views this stuff actually gets is pretty impressive to me, and really, really reassuring to me that you enjoy my nerdy side as much as my spiritual side. So, well, actually the other way around. You enjoy my spiritual side as much as my nerdy side. So, have a good night. May all your dreams and wishes, ideas, desires, as long as you don't harm other people or yourself, may they come true. And of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I'll see you later. Bye!